What truly moves through a person's mind when you vanish from their life? Not with a fight, but with absolute, unbroken quiet. Most believe that to stop pursuing is to surrender, but the mind doesn't crumble when it's pushed away. It crumbles when it realizes it's no longer needed. This isn't about playing games. This is about the unconscious currents that flow when emotional supply lines are cut. You gave your time, you offered your presence, and then one day you simply stopped. No drama, no closure, just absence. That single action creates a tremor in the psyche, not in you, but in them. Freud divided the self into three forces: the id, which craves pleasure, the ego, which hungers for validation, and the superego, the voice of meaning. When you chase someone, you feed their ego. When you stop, you threaten its very foundation. Here are the 7 silent experiences they will face. The first is confusion, not sadness, not relief, bewilderment. Their mind asks, why did the signal stop? The ego craves predictability. When a familiar pattern shatters, discomfort sets in. They replay conversations. They check their phone. Nothing. They tell themselves it doesn't matter, yet they notice the silence. The second is ego ache. The ego is built on validation. When your attention disappears, the ego doesn't feel attacked, it feels questioned. This manifests as irritation, restlessness, subtle anger. They may not miss you yet, but they miss how you made them feel about themselves. The third is loss of control. When you chase, they hold the reins. When you stop, control shifts. This creates internal chaos. They may send a casual message just to test if the old control still works. If you reply instantly, control returns to them. If you don't, discomfort deepens. The fourth is curiosity, not romantic fascination, psychological investigation. They wonder what you're doing, who you're with. Your absence becomes a mental magnet. When access is removed, imagination fills the gap. The most potent thought slips in. What if I was wrong about them? The fifth is withdrawal anxiety. Emotional bonds create quiet dependency. When that habitual presence vanishes, the nervous system reacts. They feel unsettled, off balance. This isn't about losing you, it's about losing emotional stability. You were part of their routine. Now the body feels the gap. The sixth is projection. They assign feelings to you that are actually their own. They assume you're angry, bitter, playing games, but the truth lives inside them. Projection protects the ego from vulnerability. To say, I miss them, feels weak, so the mind says, they're upset with me. The seventh is delayed realization. This arrives when it's too late to act. Humans only recognize value after emotional distance is created. They realize you were consistent, you were present, you stayed long after another would have left, and they understand you didn't walk away in anger, you walked away after trying. When you stop chasing someone, you're not controlling them, you're choosing to control yourself. Attention, when constant, becomes invisible. When withdrawn, it gains meaning. Silence creates reflection. Distance reveals truth. Some will never reach realization. Their ego protects them forever. But others will feel all 7 experiences. And by the time they understand what your presence meant, you will no longer be waiting to be chosen. You'll already be free.